how's it going, Gemini? This is your forecast for June 2017, and you know what? What's really beautiful right now? In May, your consciousness was in your 12th house, right? Trying to revive that spirituality and a dream state and powering up your batteries, but the sun has now come in to your first house. So happy birthday. That is a new annual solar return for you. So your energy should be up now. Your battery's fully loaded. Mars has been plowing along, even in spite of you wanting maybe to kind of step back there a little bit in May. But Mars was busy keeping you on track, but now the sun is out here following right along with it. I feel that you have really paved not just your path, but there must be a whole lot of things that you are seeing now, physically manifesting in your life. And so there's a sense of enthusiasm that's really burning a lot of fuel right now. And you know what? If everything has been done correctly, if you've been living up to your higher self, so to speak, you should start seeing the manifestation of good things now coming into the picture when Mars moves in to your second house for money and income, seeing the results of all the efforts that you have been putting out there. Not quite yet. Mars won't move in here before the 4th. However, though, you know, once it's there, it is going to do super good work and later be joined with both the Sun and Mercury too. So this is what you're preparing for at the very early stages of June. If you're listening to this reading early, if you're listening to this in May, well, then you know what's coming around the corner for you. So whatever you're doing now in May is now here in June going to manifest. So I'm loving that. Mars will be moving into Cancer, which is not just your money area, but it's also the area of wanting to nurture. Okay, so what are you nurturing? Well, you're nurturing your values, because that's what the second house is about, your self-esteem, right? And so I'm seeing that you might start powering up on doing certain things for yourself, or maybe purchasing a few things that you have earmarked for a while. Now it's going to be possible for you to chase that and see it in your 3D reality. Really love that, because that nurturing, you know, we can nurture everybody else, but we also at times have to nurture ourselves as well. We have Jupiter. This is some good news coming your way, is now moving forward on June 10th. Jupiter for you has been transiting your 5th house, which has to do with romance, right? But also children or self-expression, joyfulness, creativity, and all those things. And if you have a business that you own, it comes under here. So if it has been a little slow the last 4 to 5 months, then it is, you know, due to Jupiter. But when he wakes up, there's going to be a lot of joy, optimism, enthusiasm, and so forth. Talk about having wind under your wings. You're going to feel this lift and rise. So this is definitely a great time for you. It's your birthday month, you know, with new solar return, but with Jupiter also playing with you on your side after the 10th, you'll feel like it's coming back to life, right? It's your new year, definitely. Saturn still retrograde until the 26th, so that is slowly still plugging through your relationship area. I feel that this extended time that you're getting here, however, is allowing you to kind of like settle down, breathe, really look at what's going on between you and your partner, if you are in a relationship or a marriage. Even for those of you who are single, you're really having some time to look at why right now you are single. You know, it may be behooving you in great ways, but you've got to recognize it to really make it work for you, because Saturn is empowering us, all right? And it's empowering your relationships as well. Neptune will go retrograde also this month, June 16th to that of November 23rd. Neptune is our spirituality, it's our higher aspirations, everything that we see that's ideal in our life. Neptune for you is in your 10th house, so it's for career. When this slows down a little bit, well, then we can see that you're not pushing as much forward. I can see how Neptune has really inspired you in whatever it is that you, Gemini, are working with. That's what Neptune does. It's like our higher channels. We're channeling that infinite energy that flows through us, right? So when it shuts down, we might just feel that our imagination, which Neptune also rules, might dry up a little bit. So if you're a writer, I won't say writer's block, but you might just feel that you got to work a little bit harder with it because it's not coming to you in that synchronistic flow. But you know, whenever it's well aspected, in spite of it being retrograde, you will still have those moments of aha experiences. Then we have Pluto also, still retrograde, April 21st straight through September 29th. That's where you're transforming. That's your 8th house. This has to do with your financial aspects more so. I'd like to say your savings, insurances, that kind of thing, not your month-to-month income. So slowly here, this area too is transforming. You will see it once it moves forward, that whatever you've done in this period from April 21st straight throughout that of September, something has changed. And it will lay a new foundation for you that you can be grateful for many years to come, not just right now, right? So you might be changing up your insurance policies, life term policies, that kind of thing where you're setting yourself up in a good way, trusts and so forth. But as we start out this month, let me tell you though, May ended on a very good note with some unexpected openings for us. And so here on the 1st of June, especially for those of you who have your birthday there on June 1st, what a great way to start the year, because the signature of this date is going to stick for the whole oncoming year. We're starting out the month with Sun and Saturn. They are opposing each other. So I feel it has to do with what you want as opposed to what your partner might want. A partner could be a significant other, it could be somebody you co-work with. But it's okay, because I feel that in this compromise you're going to find a perfect good balance, because on the 3rd, wow, here we have energies opening up with unexpected surprises. We love when Venus and Uranus, they come together in a conjunction. It's just all the whistles and bells going off, because we never know what we get when we have Uranus. And when they're conjunct like this, it is always music, and it's in your 11th house, Gemini, for hopes and dreams and so forth. So you could come to meet somebody. Maybe somebody from the past could show up that you haven't seen for a long time, and then there's all this jovial, happy energy coming from it. Now on the 3rd, we got the Sun, we got Jupiter. They are trine, and I feel for you what this is, the Sun being you, Jupiter now getting very close to going direct. So it's slowing down from the retrograde. It's basically sitting a little still there. So it's still got great power for you. Whatever door opens up for you on a 3rd, well, it's an opportunity. 5th house is joy and creativity, self-expression, leisure, hobbies, just playtime, right? And romantic too. So this is a great day to pay attention to. But on the 4th, be careful of what you agree to, because Neptune is being squared by the Sun, and that can muddle up whatever communication maybe we're not hearing or seeing all the details. So definitely, especially if you're going to need to write or sign a contract, you could go ahead and do it, but do ask questions. If there's anything that's not clear, don't just assume. You want to make sure that it is what you think it is, right? So sometimes asking questions is a great thing. On the 4th, Mars moves out of Cancer, your 2nd house. It moves into Cancer out of your 1st house. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling in my words. So, you know, he's done what he needed to do as far as you carving out your personal path for the things that you want, wish, and dream for. But now he's going to focus all on your income sector. What that will do for you is probably open up doors and trying to find new ways of manifesting energy. And I think this is a great thing for you. It's going to be followed up by the Sun and Mercury a little bit later. That's going to keep you busy. So more money could come in after this date. Then we have on the 6th, Venus is moving into the sign of Taurus. So it's moving out of your jovial friendship area and now wanting to go into dream time. The 12th house is ruled by Neptune. So when Venus and Neptune do this, dance together, you're very active, especially in your nocturnal dreams, but also your daydreams. It's a very inspirational place to have Venus. It's also a time to be creative. It's a highly creative, spiritual area. So you will love that, especially those of you who find yourselves being very creative. So that's going to be good for you. On the 9th, it is a romantic time. We have Venus and Mars. They are sextile, doing the dance. And Venus being in your 12th house now, Mars in the 2nd house. I think you can cook up more than having a romantic night. You want to circle the chart or the calendar for it. But I'm also thinking more on a creative note that this could be a time where you could align yourself with some thoughts or an idea, creative idea that could be a money-making direction. Say if you're a writer, you might feel inspired for some theme or some plot where Mars is saying, wow, I can not just only do that, but then I can create a spin-off from it. It's like Mars is wanting to multiply. That is because you are a Gemini, and it is because the Sun is in Gemini right now, that you don't only see one thing, but if you can do this, you can do that, you know, and then it keeps expanding. So great time there around the 9th. Give it a day or two before, a day or two after. That's as long as that influence really lasts. The 14th, again, pay attention, just like on the 4th. Neptune is a little muddled, not communicating as clearly as we would like him to do. Here's the day of Mercury squaring off on Neptune, same way like the Sun did. Now this has more to do with contracts, paperwork, and so forth. So again, if something hasn't been cleared, and you might have been in talks with this now for a few days, you know, last 10 days or so, then make sure that you bring it up here on this date before you put your name to anything. And then you'll be okay. You know, Jupiter is looking out for you. Jupiter has a trine to that Mercury on the 13th as it's starting to square off to Neptune. But then again, even though Jupiter is looking out for you, Jupiter may be overly enthusiastic, like, wow, this deal is so great. It's like, and then we're just assuming that everything else follows along as great, and then Neptune can slip under there, right? So just pay attention. I'm just looking out for you. If you didn't catch whatever that may be, it will come up on the 18th. This is when Mercury and Saturn, they're opposing one another. So you might have to readjust something. But it's going to work out. So don't get frazzled. It's just good to know ahead because then we're forewarned, right? On the 20th, we have a delightful Venus and Neptune sextile. So if Venus and Mars is good, that's love and romance, then this is more than romance. This is like out-of-body, astral type, spiritual, soulmate type love because Neptune is that higher aspect of Venus. So when they come together, yes, you could say that this is more than just a candlelight dinner. And for those of you who are artists or creative in your work, this is a day definitely that you can come to feel that you're channeling the music you're creating, channeling the paintings you are trying to paint. It's just absolutely beautiful. Talk about being in the flow. So, you know, it's not going to last long. You might have a 2 or 3 day streak where you can funnel these higher intentions. It's a great time to meditate, especially for those of you who are extremely visual. You can have visions turn up right now. On the 21st, the Sun is moving into Cancer and joining Mars, which is already now carving out the financial path. On the 21st, Mercury too is following suit with the Sun, joining the crown. So you can see from this point on, your financial sector is lit up. And we also do have the new moon for you here. Gemini, that is taking place on the 24th. So you have like 4 planets in there working for you, trying to put together a nice fit package. It's going to be a full year before you get the new moon next year and the Sun and Mercury in this place. It's going to be 2 full years before Mars is going to do his trick and magic here too. So it's a very important time for you, for those of you wanting to grow your money and income streams. On the 24th, now, we're talking about money, right? What rules money? That's Venus. Well, Venus and Pluto, they are in a golden trine. And let me tell you, when Pluto is well aligned, and especially when it's aligned to Venus, it never does anything in small terms. If we're talking romance, we're talking romance. We're talking fire, we're talking passion, symbiosis, right? Where things are just extremely, extremely beautiful. Now, if we're talking Venus as in money, well, Pluto's talking big money, not just change in one's pocket. So for those of you working on a deal, this would be a day to settle it. Venus here in your first house, I believe, at that time, or still maybe in your 12th house, sorry. And then coming from Pluto, which is your 8th house, so Venus in the 12th, you could actually manifest something here from, could be stocks or investments, a payout, maybe a tax return, and it's going to be a good return. So, yeah, or it could be an inheritance, perhaps, anything 8th house related. So we're not talking about promotion, we're not talking about your income per se, but money coming to you from a source. It could be royalties or a commission check, something like that could be powerful and very, very big. So, we're getting close to the end of the month. I'd say lay low on the 25th. Mars and Jupiter, they're not really compatible on this day. Mars wants to do something here and Jupiter is over there. So we're kind of scattered and divided. And it could be people around you might be a little short-tempered because Jupiter wants what it wants too, right? In the now. And so does Mars. So you might find yourself in different directions or having to compromise, but that's okay. If we know how to compromise, I'd say just lay low on this day because people will probably want to get into it, who's right or wrong, and that's the worst type of conversation you could ever go into. You never should need to prove yourself, you know. That's just a waste of negative energy. You know what you know, and be open to agree to disagree, and you're okay. 28th, though, we have Neptune and Mercury. This is a flow of inspiration, especially for you writers, painters, dancers, and that kind. You artists, musicians, and so forth. Again, we're opening up those higher dimensions to a channel. You're channeling inspiration, information, and so forth. So even though you might not be able to act on everything all at once, I'd say take notes, because this could be a brainstorm type of flow that you're coming into that you can actually come back to and bring back up and out down the road. And for that, you will be very grateful in the future, especially when we feel that things are starting to dry up, you know, with one's creativity, then you already have it there, right? So, as you can see, we've got a lot of things going on. That full moon will be shining, lighting up your relationship house. That will be on June 9th. And the new moon will be on June 24th, and that will be in your 2nd house for money and income. So, you've got a lot of good things going for you, Gemini, this month. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you again in July. Have a good one now.